City Attorney Pete Holmes says the city is withdrawing its request to lift the federal oversight of the Seattle Police Department, or what's called a consent decree. King 5's Tony Black explains what the decree is and why the city decided to change their mind.
The Seattle Police Department has been under a federal consent decree since 2012.
I believe it's brought significant, important, systematic changes to the Seattle Police Department.
The consent decree is just a legal term for a settlement or agreement. The Department of Justice began investigating SPD in 2011 over several instances of excessive force, particularly on minorities.
Put the knife down!
Mayor Durkin was U.S. Attorney at the time and investigated the case. The investigation found SPD was violating the Constitution and biased policing. The city and DOJ agreed on a list of reforms mostly around discipline, accountability, force, and community oversight. A judge ruled they needed to sustain the reforms for a 2-year period to be in full compliance. The judge started that 2-year clock in 2018, though last year he said even with SPD in compliance when it comes to use of force, they still had a lot of work to do when it came to accountability and discipline. Last month, the city and Department of Justice filed a joint motion asking the court to remove the parts of the decree they were in compliance with, including use of force, but not accountability or discipline. And then the protest happened. City Attorney Pete Holmes on Wednesday withdrew the city's motion. In a statement, he said the over 12,000 complaints from the weekend's protest would be a vigorous test of the city's accountability system.
But we also heard from community very loudly and very clearly that they felt that motion was an indication that we were abandoning the principles of the consent decree.
Both Mayor Durkin and Chief Carmen Best have said they are committed to being in full compliance. Tony Black, King 5 News.